right, all right. Let's start. Let's kick it off. Hey, did you already start your destinations? Add your destinations. I think you could add up to 2 or 3 before we go ahead and get started.
Yes, we maxed out.
Even on even on the extras, don't you can add like 2 or 3?
Nah.
Gotcha. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started, man. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off, and then while you introduce yourself, I'll cue up that first clip. All right, so my name is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210 at BNL on also on all social media, especially the YouTube. Go to the YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, so on and so forth. If you like the podcast, go ahead and start sharing it. Share it with your friends. You know, that's the thing about educational podcasts. You know, it's a lot harder to get going with those. You know, so long form, and then like I said, attention spans and stuff like that. So we need y'all. If you're a fan of the show, you know, we need y'all help to actually get going. So, like, subscribe, so on and so forth. Don't forget it's mortgage season. It's busy season right now. About to embark on us, everybody. Getting ready to sell and list and buy and get ready for the summer switch over while the kids are out of school. So let's go ahead and get started. Pre-qual right now, www.applywithb.com. Go get pre-qualified, and that way you're ready to shop for the summer and ready to place a bid. You know, so don't wait till everybody else hop in when the rates get cut. Go ahead and buy the house right now, and let's do a streamline once you're in the house. That's a lot easier, you know, than shopping and overbidding everybody, you know. Also, you call me 24/7, 832-775-8357. You call me 24/7. Last but not least, go to my website, www.brandonbdixon.com. If you're trying to list, you're trying to buy, you're trying to invest, you're trying to rent, lease, whatever you're trying to do, I got you covered on that because I'm a dual agent. And we're recruiting as well for people that want to be dual agents. So one other thing, check us out tomorrow. We got a mortgage pitfall webinar tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Zoom. So I think CJ put the link in the comments here. So if y'all want to join us for that, we got a webinar tomorrow at 7 p.m. So all the ins and outs to save you some money, so you don't get caught up with mortgage pitfalls and buying the first time house. One other thing I forgot. Don't forget COCinvestmentclub.com if you're trying to mitigate your risk, if you're trying to get into real estate investment and you don't know where to turn, you know, you're going to pay something. You're going to pay either way you go. You got to pay for mentorship. You're going to pay for mistakes. You're going to pay for lack of knowledge. So why not mitigate your risk? Come in, you know, invest with us, and that way you could learn the deal. So www.cocinvestmentclub.com. All right. So CJ, let's go ahead and get started. Actually, I got you right here.
All right, what's up, everybody? CJ with Greenwood Realty Group. Check me out. Let's connect on social media at CJ Sales Texas. That's CJSELLSTX.
Right.
TJ funny.
We try not to, bro.
All right, go to the website, greenwoodrealtytx.com. If you're a seller, buyer, or agent, want more information about what we do and what we offer, we got all that information for you on the website, so check that out. Of course, I've got the YouTube channel, CJ the Realtor, where we're doing our looks, home tours, and we're also doing some other things on there. Good information, especially when we're highlighting our local business owners. So go on there, check that out. Let me know what you think. Of course, we need the subscribes, the likes, the shares, all that good stuff. And then, of course, we know we're always giving back to our mentorship program, the Massa Academy, where we teach our young men knowledge of self-improvement, and entrepreneurship. So go to themassaacademy.org for more information for that. And speaking on the masterclass we got tomorrow, cjsalestexas.com, where you can go sign up.
Gotcha. So don't forget, we're going to plug this one more time. We got a webinar tomorrow. We're going to talk about all the pitfalls and all the stuff that you could get into trouble or lose some money with when you get into a first-time home buying situation. So we got a webinar tomorrow. Go to the website and then sign up for the Zoom, and then we'll go from there. You guys,
better on there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a question and answer portion, everything. So everything you need to know about buying a house tomorrow, 7:00 on Zoom. All right, so let's go ahead and get the party started, man. I want to react to this this Breakfast Club. Yeah, there you go. This Breakfast Club skit. Well, snippet, should I say, not skit. That what was it? John Bryant was talking about DEI and you know, the future of the American economy. I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip and let's go ahead and react to it. You know, let's go ahead and get started on this right here. So, all right, let's go ahead.
Diversity and inclusion, the only way America will survive.
Black people are too emotional on this topic, and some white people are too narrow-minded and fearful. This literally makes no sense. I'm dropping this today. We're going to publish this in a couple weeks, I believe, on CNBC, and I'm taking on the entire hard right. And my prediction is they won't have much to say. Here's why. Called the Business Plan for America. Now I'm going to do this real quickly. In 1952, America was 90% white. That meant that what Dr. King and Andrew Young and Dorothy Height did in the civil rights movement was genius, because basically America was doing the moral thing because we didn't have the numbers. Mm-hmm. America today is 40% black and brown. And you add all other minorities in, we're already a majority of minorities. But black and brown group will be a majority of minority within 10 or so years. So now we're a majority of minorities. Those, we're going to be the first generation where the population is a majority over 65 years of age. Mm-hmm. Read baby boomers who are white, wealthy, and trying to retire. So in our lifetime, you're going to have the first generation over 65 years of age, wealthy, white, and trying to retire. Social Security by 2034 will only be able to pay 70 cents of every dollar for retirement, which means you need more money going into Social Security. Now you have a population of black and brown people for the first time in history that's basically going to be a majority of minority, and that's just going to keep escalating. The largest population of poverty in this country are poor whites, and the number one group dying are high school educated white men. By the 2045 census, you're going to have all these sort of numbers coagulating together, and you're going to have an economy that doesn't work anymore, because black and brown people were never given the memo on free enterprise, capitalism, economics, ownership, and opportunity. We confuse making money with building wealth. By 2053, Black America will have a net worth of zero. If all we do is what we're doing right now. Right now, black people have a net worth. 41% of black people own a home. 41 to 43%. The number one way you build wealth in America is home ownership. Mm-hmm. It's part of what we've been talking about today. And once you become a homeowner, there's only so much land, and that's it. It's done. It's hard for that value not to go up if you're anywhere near places of economic activity and jobs. So that's how people compound when they sleep. But we don't own homes. Latinos are not much better. By 2072, I believe it was, Latinos will have a net worth of zero. So the two groups that are going to be the majority of minorities were never taught free enterprise, capitalism, economics, and opportunity. Okay, so now let's deal with diversity and inclusion. What's the biggest economy in the world? I've already said it, the U.S. What's the most diverse country in the world? The U.S. What are the two most diverse states? California and New York. Mm-hmm. What's the two most prosperous states? These are not trick questions.
California, New York.
California and New York. All right. What's the biggest economy in the South? Not a trick question. Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay.
$455 billion a year. 10th largest economy in the United States. Mm-hmm. What's the most diverse place in the traditional South? Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Now, you take 6 states around Atlanta. States, not cities. Mm-hmm. You can name them. Alabama, Mississippi, like you can name them. The Atlanta city economy is bigger than all 6 states. You can take 3 of those states together, put them inside a bucket, and sit it inside of the city of Atlanta's economy. That's because diversity is actually good business. If you're a business today, a company, a Fortune 500 company, you're 36 more likely to be prosperous and profitable if you're diverse and inclusive. Mm-hmm. Put another way, the most profitable big companies in America are diverse and inclusive. The math on this stuff, and we can go on, I can do this forever, but mm-hmm. I think the point is sort of obvious. How do you cancel diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, which are basically DEI, mm-hmm. is the R&D, the research and development for the future economy. So if the folks replacing the folks got the jokes but don't have the capital, America can only continue to be the superpower of the world. There's never been a superpower that wasn't an economic power. What's America today? But we cannot continue unless the folks listening to this program and watching this video become capitalists.
Why is diversity and inclusion the only way America?
All right, so boom. I'll give you first stab at it, man. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think? I know that's only a snippet, but it's a good portion of that interview.
Yeah, I mean, he made some really good points, especially when you look at the trajectory that the country is going in, when he was talking about how the minorities, the majority of minorities, is that number is steadily increasing. And Dr. Francis Chris Wilson said a long time ago that the white population is slowly dwindling. But as far as looking at your business and the trajectory it's going to go into, and then looking at the direction that the country is going in, it's just getting more and more diverse. So if you're not being innovative and open to that, then it's basically going to be business suicide.
Right. I mean, I think he said a couple different things. It's kind of layered. A couple things I agree with. I agree with that home ownership, and a lot of the minorities need to learn how to be capitalists. He said one key thing that I don't know if everybody caught. He said that a lot of us think making money is
creating wealth.
Yeah. And that's the difference. A lot of us know how to make money, but we spend just as much as we make.
I mean, that's like you say, it's the difference between being rich and being wealthy.
Right. So, so a lot of us, we master. Some of us are now learning, I think a lot of it's a lot slower than others, but we're starting to catch on within the last 20 to 25 years of starting to learn how to make money. Some of us, not all of us. But I still don't think we have all the tools and equipment that we need. And I don't know if it's baked into the culture with wealth generation.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot of the stuff that's, especially our culture. I don't know about, I could talk in general about other cultures, Latino culture, but our culture, the hip hop culture, the quote unquote black culture, I think the culture is at odds with wealth because we so used to being consumers.
Right.
And this consumer is almost the opposite of wealth generation. We're the top consumers. We buy stuff and make it look good. We buy this and we make it trendy. So that's kind of the situation. We buy this to look a certain way. So we make everything look good.
And that's what we talked about, this book, Powernomics, with Dr. Claude Anderson a while back.
Mm-hmm.
And we got it twisted. Everybody's focusing on voting more than they're focusing more on building an economic base.
Right.
So, and especially building vertically instead of horizontally. So we are way behind in getting that together so we can start building an economic base and actually having some kind of power or control over our neighborhoods and what we need to do.
Right. So just to finish what I was saying, so I agree with him on that part. Like, as far as we need to learn how to create wealth, we need to learn how to crash course on free enterprise. It's surprising how many people that I talk to that's business owners or that's business people or money making people that don't have tax strategies. I don't understand. I talked with we talked off air about a friend of mine that just started a business and had no idea about tax strategy. I was teaching them something earlier, like I'm thinking, hey, this is how you do it. And like we don't know anything about tax strategies. It's like we have an arrested development when it comes to how this thing works. So like if this is the majority of us, we got a long way to go, and we got to really really grow up fast.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
In order to keep up with how things are trending. So
we know when the J's is coming out, but we don't know when they pass legislation and things like opportunity zones and how to get in.
Correct.
Taking advantage of those opportunities.
Now, here's the things that I don't agree with. I agree that you have to include. I think everything's trending black and brown. As the years go on, especially as we start mixing up, and as everything become more and more free. So you're gonna have more and more minorities, along with all these illegals coming in. Blah blah blah. Cool. However, I don't think I don't think we should force companies to include everything. I think I should be a free market. I think we need to learn how to create companies to create jobs and have your own agenda instead of trying to force other companies to bend to what you want.
Yeah, I mean, if it's your company, you should be able to do what you want to with it.
Right. I believe in the free market. I don't think you should try to bend companies to try to, all right, well, we got a quota to meet, so I have to hire people.
Right.
I think we should, and I've always said this on the podcast, if these people are Dallas Cowboy fans, why are you trying to force them to be Saints fans?
Right.
They're Dallas Cowboy fans. Let them enjoy the Cowboys. If that's how they want to run their business, let the market decide.
Yeah. And we could bring up Blockbuster Video. Nobody forced them to go digital.
Right.
And they didn't. And they ain't here no more.
Right. So let the market make them become dinosaurs. Let the market, not stop trying to twist everybody's hand in order. No, you gotta. I never understood you gotta eat at our restaurants. You gotta let us eat.
Yeah.
I never understood that, especially if I'm sitting in line to eat potato salad with raisins. Come on. I get it. It's about at that time about equality, but like if you would have concentrated on your base,
yep,
and competing with your base, why not make your stores as clean? I know they passed legislation to try to make your stuff not as clean, or they try to make tax and poll tax and all this other stuff, all kind of other tax. But however, you still can run it. Run it. So keep running it. But I mean, I don't think the answer was to try to force somebody to try to treat you equally. I think it's always, learn all you can, learn the system, and then put your version of it better than that and compete.
Yep.
That's always been my premise. And I think a lot of these programs take away the meritocracy. I definitely believe in the meritocracy. I think you should be rewarded on your own actions. I don't think nothing should be given. And
no participation trophy.
No participation. I think that's what it is. It's winners and losers. I mean, I think, to try to get a handout and I think all of that stuff, with the handouts and the welfare system, all that was designed to undercut ambition and work ethic and undermine the foundation of a community.
Oh yeah, and it destroy families.
Right, destroy families, and once you get that, you that way you create a dependent entity, and that entity is just where you want them. All it can't feed itself. It's dependent, but it's going to garner the creativity what we need. And it's going to go into that money, so they can keep that money cycling. To me,
and it makes you comfortable and complacent with with having just enough instead of being ambitious going forward.
Survival mode. So I think those programs did exactly what they wanted to do, and I think we need to get back to, hey, it's winners and losers, get out and. Hey, how do you don't know how to build a house? Half of us don't know how to build a house. More than half. I would think majority of people don't know how to build a house. If you got lost in the woods, you wouldn't know how to survive.
Right.
A lot of us can run a mile. A lot of us can't shoot guns.
Can't grow food.
Can't grow food. We can't, so you're totally dependent on the state.
Right.
If you're totally dependent on internet, you're totally dependent on your iPhone. You see what I'm saying? And so at that point, you're a battery. So we talk about, we got all these woke people, I'm an independent thinker and all this stuff, but you're thinking about first world stuff.
Right.
What about the foundation? What herbs can you take to survive if you get lost in the woods? How do you start a fire? We don't know these things. So you gotta we got to get back to the basics and at the same time learn to compete as a conglomerate in order for it to have a chance. Because think about it, if we the majority in 40 years, what the economy going to look like? Will it survive? Because if the majority of people don't know what they're doing,
Right. We the majority, but then we're gonna end up with zero in wealth.
Right,
Like, what's that gonna look like?
right, exactly. So that's what I want to kind of go to the conversation of. If we are we even ready to lead? You know, are we even ready to for the United States to be a majority minority country?
You said it right.
Right, Freudian slip. You know, so will it survive, or is this the beginning of the end?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
will it die? You know, will it, you know? Because think about it, everything we doing right now, everything is soft. You know, Russians, Russian kids are doing push-ups in the morning,
Right.
push-ups and sit-ups. And we
My
doing
kid on
coloring books.
TikTok.
Yeah, trying to pick what gender we are. You know, so
Mm.
as you weaken the army, you know, history repeats itself. Rome, Greece, so on and so forth. As you weaken the army, you weaken the boys, so go the nation. So what is it going to look like in 40 years when the testosterone is down, everybody's emasculated? That, you know, nobody wants those jobs where you got to dig ditches and build bridges. You know,
Right. Yep.
how's that going to look without infrastructure? We're doomed. You know, how's it going to look without the manufacturing? We already shipped a lot of manufacturing jobs
Yep.
over to China and Japan. So how's that going to look if we don't want to create anything? We only want to create dances and TikTok vids. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So how will that survive? So I'll go ahead and open that question to you. I'm looking for the next.
I mean, it's just like that saying too. Was it hard times create strong men? Strong men create weak. Easy times create weak men.
Right.
It's going to be something cyclical in my opinion, but I think there has to be something that we do now, so we don't get to that extreme point where it's really to the point where we don't have any, where the whole thing about masculinity is gone, when men can't provide and protect, and
Right.
everybody hiding under the table. Nobody out trying to protect the other.
Wait, say it one more time. I'm trying to look for the skit.
No, I was just saying, if we don't have men that know how to do the things that we just talked about, it just ruins the whole dynamic. It doesn't work. Everything will be imbalanced if that happens. So that's why I was saying we have to do something now to put something in place to combat that. Otherwise, we're doomed.
Right.
I mean, we won't see it in our lifetime, but our next generation is going to be messed off.
Right. Well, that's the thing, is like it's getting within my lifetime. We've seen it diminish.
Yep.
That quick. So and I don't know if the backlash was that they intended for it to be that strong that quickly, but it did happen within our eyes. Like, so what's going to happen if we stop creating and innovating?
Yep.
What's going to be happening if we can't compete on the global economy? Everything's getting global now. What's going to happen?
I ain't even lie. I was talking to someone. I was like, man, it's getting to the point where I might have to even look at arranged marriages.
Right.
Like, make sure, just like Jay-Z was saying in the Legacy song.
Right.
Your seed marry my seed.
Right.
Like, we got to make sure. Like, back in the days, same thing. It was like, who your people?
Right. Well, that's how it is till this day in Africa and Middle East and stuff like that. The reason why is because, emotional choices usually bad choices. I was always taught rise above emotion into the thinking of God. It's got to be logical. And especially if depend on the outcome that you want. So if you pick based on a tingle or a feeling, a lot of times you're gonna pick wrong.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, especially if you got a female seed, she gonna pick based on swag or cute shoes or made me laugh, and and pick the wrong thing. And that's why, really I think we getting left behind, like I said, as far as other economies, because they still have arranged marriages. It's still a family thing. It's still it still means something. The family doesn't mean anything anymore, especially in our community. Think about it. A lot of stuff that is out, even though it's diminishing in the U.S. culture, but a lot of stuff, that we do, don't forget, we the canary in the coal mine is the norm. Like, not speaking to, parents, not doing, everything on your own. As soon as 17 in the click, you're out of there.
Yep.
So like you out on your own.
And man, even look at some of these interviews with some of the younger guys that be online. You hear a lot of them saying, "I feel."
Right.
So it's a lot of folks in their feelings instead of using their brain and thinking.
Well, yeah, I mean that's another whole single mother raised. We the latchkey kids. Our generation was the latchkey kids. That means that I had the keys to the house.
Yeah.
I had to let myself in.
Right.
And fix myself a hot pocket until Mama got off at 6, 7 o'clock.
Man,
what I mean?
I was just, like, it's crazy. Like kids nowadays don't even want to drive.
Right.
Like shoot, back in the day, we was driving before we can get driver's license.
Right. Yeah, you couldn't
wait to get in the car.
You used to steal Mama car.
Shoot, she'll send you to the store because she don't want to go.
Right. So
Right.
yeah, it's a different. This
Like,
that quick. So this that quick, man. It's changed up. So you got to think, what's the next step ahead?
Yep.
What's the next step ahead? How's it going to be? That's the thing is that do we want to stick? That's another question. Do we want to stick with the U.S. economy?
That's another good question.
Let's look at this next skit, and we'll get more into that in a second. I just seen this one. I had to put this in there. I know it's kind of switching. It's getting more pointed to our.
Say the median house in California costs $830K. This is what the median house in California looks like. When I learned that Japan lets foreigners buy and sell property with the same rights as its own citizens, I became curious what $830K might buy in Japan. So I'm here to find out. This is the city of Sendai, famous for its cherry blossoms. Less than 2 hours from Tokyo by bullet train. The streets are beautiful, and the people are kind.
I don't recommend this store called Teacher.
Okay.
Cheap.
The next store price expensive. Okay. Oh.
Yes.
They save teeth, and they have tongue restaurants and wiener coffee. Their spotless subways take you everywhere in class. Try to imagine finding upholstered seats on a subway in the US. So I assumed the real estate here would be expensive. I went to look at this house, which was fully renovated in 2021. It's 1,300 square feet on a 2,500 square foot lot. And it's beautiful. The asking price is $129,000. And when I asked the agent if an offer of $100K would be reasonable, he nodded enthusiastically. So, for the cost of the median house in California, you can buy 8 of this house in Japan, plus this van downstairs and 2 wiener coffees. I'm going to find out how hard it is to buy a house in Japan. Today.
So, bam.
Yep.
So, and I've been saying this about Thailand and Bali and the rest of them. Like, really, we getting outpaced.
Yeah.
So now, like, different cultures is looking more tantalizing. We get to the point where their economy's caught up and is outpacing ours.
Yep.
You get more bang for your buck, and it's cleaner, safer. So we no longer the big dogs on the porch. Everybody wanted to come to America, I still think it's great for the come up.
Yeah. You come in to come up, take advantage of the capitalism.
Right.
But for quality of life, you might have to get up out of here.
Right. So it's good to to quick make your dollars, but is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the place to go ahead and plant your flag and lay down,
Right. Start a family and
start a family. Is it, look how clean it is, man. Everything's spotless.
Yep.
It's their culture.
I think was it Singapore? Like they catch you spitting on the ground, you getting in trouble.
Right. So it's just like it starts with accountability and culture.
Mm-hmm.
If our culture is dysfunction and rebellion and stupidity, how can you form anything productive? So we need a whole culture change in order to compete like that.
Yep.
So we need a whole culture change. I give you one thing that was I think I told this story. I don't know if I told this on air or off air before. Like they're saying like Asian culture back in when I was a kid. This was a little bit before my time, but I kind of remember a little bit of it. They had the Fu Manchu, where it was in the 70s or in the mid 70s, the Dub Asian stereotype was a thing, and they changed that within one generation. So now the Asian stereotype is they're the smartest in the class.
Yeah.
They changed that. They collectively came together and changed that image, and that's what all our, these movies was about. I'm Gonna Get You Sucking. What is it? Hollywood Shuffle. And all of with Robert Townsend and all that. That was about the stereotypes that we keep taking. We keep taking for the bag, but it's perpetually, socially engineering us. It's brainwash. We take the same 7 tropes. The brute, the convict, the mammy, you know what I mean? It's the same roles we take over, rehash and rehash.
Yep.
The Jezebel, so on and so forth. So is this a matter of we have to come and rechange the image, and then we have to actually show that it's better.
Yeah.
You can't do that without a culture.
Right.
That's what the Asians worked on. They worked on the culture. All right, this is what we stand for. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And it's cleaner, a better alternative.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think that's why a lot of folks hated Kevin Samuels, because that's what he was doing.
All right, he was trying to change. Well, they got him up out of there because
change our image, help change our image.
Change the image, So that's gonna be. It's a tough feat to help a drowning man that don't want to help, drowning people that don't want help. So it's a tough feat, man. You perfectly content. I guess they're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. But think about it. Where would you start if you wanted to present change? Where would you start?
We gotta start with the kids.
I mean,
but then it depends on who they're going home to.
Right. So it's like how much conditioning can you do?
Right.
Because you got, you still got Hollywood, you still got social media, you still got peer pressure, you got no adult supervision. It's the training, it's the collective, and then it's hard to. If you got somebody that's trying to partner with you as opposed to follow, it's a hard deal, and you don't want to fall in natural line, so it's a hard deal. So it's I'm patriotic. However, that's another discussion I won't get into. Is it unpatriotic to do your thing and then go somewhere else?
Yeah. I just
some people say, man, well, you let the country fight for it. I mean, this might be a possible fight.
I was just pulling up this quote. I can't remember it verbatim, but Frederick Douglass was like, "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men."
Right. Males and females.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a tough feat, man. It's a tough feat. Hold on. I wanted to run one more. Hold on, let me get one more in there. I don't know. My Instagram has a lag, which is stupid. Here we go. Yeah, we got a lag, which is dumb. I don't understand that. Let's run this one.
To us and our clients is an IUL. That's an Index Universal Life Account. Most people don't know that this even exists. There's an account where you can put money in, and it's 3-pronged. It has a life insurance portion. You can borrow from it. And then there's living benefits. You get access to 90% of your death benefit in your living years. Another opportunity with the IUL, took the money out of the IUL, made the real estate play, flipped the real estate in about 6 or 8 months, paid the capital gains tax on the sale of the condo, took that money, put it back into the IUL. So if someone has 10 bands, if they're young, trying to start out, because of course, because it has a life insurance portion of it, the younger you get it, the better your rate, right? And this is a forever account. This life insurance policy covers you up to the age of 121.
If I got 10 bands right now, what should I do with it?
Most successful vehicle that we have available to us and our clients is an IUL. That's an index.
Right. So the reason I threw that in there is a couple of things. Like most people don't even know what IUL is.
Yeah.
You know, and this is how a lot of other communities got rich through generation is just patience. You know, because one thing for sure, that's one of the safest investments that you could do is you know for sure that everybody gonna kick the bucket.
Yep.
You know, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So that's one of the safest investments that you could get. Would you pay $60 a month if you know that it's eventually gonna turn into $1 million?
Right.
You know?
Yep. It ain't a quick play though, so that's why it
Right.
ain't sexy, it ain't attractive.
Right.
But when you break it down, you're basically turning yourself into your own bank.
Right. So this is some of the I threw it in there like even the basics we're gonna rebel against.
Mhm.
You know, so I don't even think I don't see it. I mean, I hate to be pessimistic, but as a group, I don't see it. I hate to be doom and gloom. You know, I want everybody to chime in, but I don't see if the minority is going to be the majority. I don't think we're going to be able to lead. I think I think it's going to be a Latino or something to that effect. At least they have some of that European culture built into them. They got their own culture, you know, kind of kicked in.
Yep.
And it's still a little bit of ribbonness. They get westernized, however, they still got a little bit of some culture. But they even like he said earlier in the first thing, even they behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was surprised to hear that the Hispanic community is gonna be right behind us.
Right.
And right now, like they're the majority here in Houston.
Right. But at the same time, a lot of them don't know how to play the game.
Yeah.
You know, if you ask them about tax strategy, you ask them about the IUL like I just played, you know, for $10,000, we're gonna go and spend it on chains and rims. We're gonna go consume something. You know, we're gonna go put it in the bank. You know, I don't know how true this is. I got to do a little bit more research. I seen a skit earlier. They said that if the bank shut down, you're only getting 10% of what you put in there. I thought it was insured up to like $1 million or something. FDIC.
I thought FDIC was insured up to $100,000. Hold on.
All right, I gotta look this up. But I seen a skit. I gotta research but somebody said putting $3 million in the bank the other day. I think that's a bad idea.
Insurance coverage limit is $250.
$250.
Mm-hmm.
So you got $2 million in the bank. You ain't you know what I mean?
Right.
You ain't getting your money back.
Yeah, you better have about 15 accounts.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't suggest
spread it out.
Yeah, I got money in investments and stuff like that. I gotta liquidate. You know what I'm saying?
But and then that's one, people don't know history either. That's why especially our community, they used to be leery of banks just because what happened back then with the Freedmen's Bank.
Right.
They didn't get 10%. They didn't get nothing back.
Right. It just shut down.
Yeah, they took their money.
Right.
And what you gonna do about it?
Right. Man, y'all welcome to the conversation, man. It's damn near 3/4 over. You know what I'm saying?
39 minutes in?
Yeah, we
3/4 over 39 minutes in.
Shit, we winding the we down the last couple of reels here, man.
Hey, we done cut the podcast down to 45 minutes now.
Nah, it's gonna be about another 15, 20, but shit, we done and done. Shit, I'll let y'all go ahead. So I remember, did y'all see the first clip? Shit. And that's
a long. We can't run that back. That was a long.
Yeah, that's a long clip, man. I have to paraphrase it. You know, basically it was John Bryant talking about you know how the back what is it, 40 years he said back?
Oh no, man. You know what I'm saying? We got time. Go ahead and run that thing.
How long was that clip?
The way B is I'm lost already.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, it was a long clip, so I'm trying to find
Yeah,
the word.
he was just talking about the future of the country when a lot of people are fighting DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it's talking about how, yeah, it's talking about how the Black community we're gonna end up with no wealth by what 2040,
right? 2045,
2045,
right?
Because like we're not taking home ownership seriously enough. It's like because he was basically saying when you run out of land, what you gonna do? Ain't no more land.
Right. I'm pulling it up right now if I can. I don't know if it's not accurate. Right. Hold on a second. This thing got a delay, a stupid delay. This thing is stupid.
You ain't sipping on nothing today, CJ?
Nah, man, just at H20 tonight, man.
Bear B got the yak over there. You gonna maybe drink? You gonna let me drink by myself, Bear? I know you got something over there.
Nothing. I don't do no yak anyway.
Okay.
In fact, while you say that, I need to hit the stove.
Hey, Barry drinking that oil over there. He on that oil.
I'm a bourbon drinker.
Barry on that oil over there.
Man, y'all better get on that bourbon. It's nice and smooth.
It's that clear oil tonight. Barry say I ain't got nothing over there.
All right, so I'm gonna run the clips back to back because I had another clip by him. I'm gonna just run the clips back to back so everybody get caught up. So I'm gonna run both of them back to back, and then we could just talk from here on. You know what I'm saying? So hold on a second. Let me run it. Bam.
The only way America will survive.
Black people are too emotional on this topic, and some white people are too narrow-minded and fearful. This literally makes no sense. I'm dropping this today. We're going to publish this in a couple weeks, I believe, on CNBC, and I'm taking on the entire hard right. And my prediction is they won't have much to say. Here's why. Called the Business Plan for America. Now, I'm going to do this real quickly. In 1952, America was 90% white. That meant that what Dr. King and Andrew Young and Dorothy Height did in the civil rights movement was genius, because basically America was doing the moral thing because we didn't have the numbers. Mm-hmm. America today is 40% black and brown. You add all other minorities in, we're already a majority of minorities. But black and brown group will be a majority of minority within 10 or so years. So now we're a majority of minorities. We're going to be the first generation where the population is a majority over 65 years of age. Mm-hmm. Read baby boomers who are white, wealthy, and trying to retire. So in our lifetime, you're going to have the first generation over 65 years of age, wealthy, white, and trying to retire. Social Security by 2034 will only be able to pay 70 cents of every dollar for retirement, which means you need more money going into Social Security. Now you have a population of black and brown people for the first time in history that's basically going to be a majority of minority, and that's just going to keep escalating. The largest population of poverty in this country are poor whites. And the number one group dying are high school educated white men. By the 2045 census, you're going to have all these sort of numbers coagulating together, and you're going to have an economy that doesn't work anymore because black and brown people were never given the memo on free enterprise, capitalism, economics, ownership, and opportunity. We confuse making money with building wealth. By 2053, black America will have a net worth of zero. If all we do is what we're doing right now, if black people have a net worth, 41% of black people own a home. 41 of 43%. The number one way you build wealth in America is home ownership. Mm-hmm. It's part of what we've been talking about today. And once you become a homeowner, there's only so much land. That's it. It's done. It's hard for that value not to go up if you're anywhere near places of economic activity and jobs. So that's how people compound when they sleep. We don't own homes. Latinos are not much better. By 2072, I believe it was, Latinos will have a net worth of zero. So the two groups that are going to be the majority of minorities were never taught free enterprise, capitalism, economics, and opportunity. So now let's deal with diversity and inclusion. What's the biggest economy in the world? I've already said it, the U.S. What's the most diverse country in the world? The U.S. What are the two most diverse states? California and New York. Mm-hmm. What's the two most prosperous states? These are not trick questions.
California and New York.
California and New York. All right. What's the biggest economy in the South? Not a trick question. Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Okay. $455 billion a year. 10th largest economy in the United States.
Mhm.
What's the most diverse place in the traditional South?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Mhm.
Now, you take 6 states around Atlanta. States, not cities.
Mhm.
You can name them. Alabama, Mississippi, like you can name them. The Atlanta city economy is bigger than all 6 states. You can take 3 of those states together, put them inside a bucket, and sit it inside of the city of Atlanta's economy. That's because diversity is actually good business. If you are a business today, a company, a Fortune 500 company, you're 36 more likely to be prosperous and profitable if you're diverse and inclusive. Put another way, the most profitable big companies in America are diverse and inclusive. The math on this stuff, and we can go on, I can do this forever, but I think the point is sort of obvious. How do you cancel the diversity, equity, and inclusion program, which are basically DE&I is the R&D, the research and development for the future economy. So if the folks replacing the folks got the jokes but don't have the capital, America can only continue to be the superpower of the world. There's never been a superpower that wasn't an economic power. What's America today? But we cannot continue unless the folks listening to this program and watching this video become capitalists.
Why is
Boom. He said a lot, so I'm going to have to break that up. I forgot how long that was. So I'll let y'all go ahead and chime in on that.
Yeah, I was wrong. He said 2053 for black folks.
Yeah, 2053 net zero, 2676 for Latinos net zero. So I'll let y'all go ahead and chime in on that, man. What y'all think of that?
He went through a lot on that one.
Right.
He went through an absolute lot. I can see where diversity can be a profitable thing, especially for down the line.
Yeah.
It's a lot to kind of to comment on, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that. I mean, you know what I'm saying, it's just
now you see why I was trying to sum it up,
Yeah, I mean, I get exactly what he was saying, you know what I'm saying? Some parts I guess, you know what I'm saying, truth be told, you know what I'm saying, it kind of went over my head. But I don't know, take it away, Barry.
Well, I mean, as far if you're going back to what he said about how we're more diverse now, what he said, like 40% is black, brown, and other black and brown are like 40%. And I agree with him. Those people are the people in those groups were never taught about home ownership and all of this. So yeah, it's gonna be a gap in it, and it's gonna go down. So we do have to teach our black our communities how to be home ownership, how to be entrepreneurs and start their own businesses. Because the economy will go down if the majority of the country is going to be diverse and all these different ethnicities or whatever, and they can't put into that system, and it will be zero.
Or will it be like like we were talking about earlier, where where it's going to be the few control the many, and they already set it up where you got a renter society where you own nothing, and only a few people and a few families, our descendants of those families, get it, because we never understood money. And he said a key thing in there, and I reiterate it again: we understand we just starting how to make money, but we don't understand how to create wealth yet.
Yeah. That was big what he said right there.
So we know how to make money. Like a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't know how to create money. A lot of us think saving money is making money. A lot of and living paycheck by paycheck and saving, think they're gonna save your way to prosperity. So a lot of people still believe in the banking system. Put your money in the bank and save it up, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have $1 million one day. You know, I can't believe how many people don't have a game plan. I was talking to people today, like I might put this in my Instagram bio. What's your game? Do you have your game plan for your $10 million to retire on? You know, because you're gonna need it. You know, so yeah, if you ain't got a plan, how many people got ideas but they don't have no plan? You know, how you gonna build a house without a blueprint? You know, so you gotta have a step by step, and you gotta be willing to risk it all to get it. Because, like I said, if you play by the rules, is it gonna be really a life? Because Social Security is supposed to be out of here. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. If Social Security, we only gonna get $3,000, and you know, shoot,
Yeah, but living 20, and the rules were made by the ones that don't want you to prosper.
Right. Well, I think at one point they didn't. I think it's changed. I think it's like, I think it's out there, but what they created is almost self-sustaining. I know you're not gonna look to do anything about it. And it's so far out of control. I could put it out there because the age of information. I could put it out there in front of your face. You're still not gonna do nothing about it.
Right.
I think it's to that point right now. I don't think they have to hide it from you no more. They can put it right in front of your face. They even got one of the most viral skits is a monkey driving a Ferrari. You remember that monkey's hopping out that yellow Ferrari?
No, I didn't see that. I must have missed that one.
Yeah,
kind of TV you be watching, B?
Nah, that's social media. They got a monkey driving a Ferrari. I'm about to look that up. We're gonna remind me before the end of the show. That's one of the most viral, and I think they was lightweight slugging. They were slugging us like, man, anybody can drive a Ferrari nowadays. Anybody can consume, but can you set your family, your kids up where they straight?
Yeah,
that's when you master the matrix. But all this come together, like I don't think we have the patience, B, the system and the culture to reform this thing. And I think the part that's scary is what he's saying is that all right, you can include it's big business now. We can be inclusive and diverse now, but what happens when we got control of the wheel and we don't know how to create wealth? Or we know how to.
I don't. But control of the wheel, I think that's a little different. Just because we'll be a majority of population, don't mean we controlling the wheel though.
Well, let's say we could control the political wheel because we have the majority, unless we split it off into small groups. So now, you know, let's say we state it as we are as a political vote. We have the politics, we have the voting block. And then as far as it should theoretically, if you're a majority of the population, you should theoretically have a lot of the businesses.
Theoretically.
You know, but you know, so is it going to be like we said? We generate, but we don't get it yet. So we keeping the economy going, but we ain't stacking properly.
I think there's a lot of me mentality. I'm gonna get mine. I'm chasing money. I'm doing this, and not thinking about the community and everybody else. It's a me mentality. Let me go get this money.
Right. Well, the community gone a long time ago. I think community left us since the 60s and the 60s. I think as soon as we got integration, we was gone. Who said that, man? As soon as I got my check, I was gone.
That was on Friday.
Yeah.
That was on Friday. That was the uncle. You know what I'm saying? Look,
right.
I was one of those ones said I wasn't gonna leave. I got my check, I was gone.
I was good. So that's how we are, man. We got our check and we roll up out of there. So
here's the thing that I think is kind of one of those negative assumptions, you know what I'm saying, that I honestly believe different, right? So I think, you know what I'm saying, right now, I think from a cultural standpoint, you know, brown, black, brown, whatever the case may be, the minority. I think progressively over the generations, we've had an increasing numbers that have become smart about money, about building wealth. What that number is, I have no idea, but I do believe that the number is higher now than it was maybe 30 years ago, whatever the case may be.
Right.
I think the assumption that we're going to be still in the same spot mentally on building wealth 30 years from now, as we are now, I think it's looking at the glass half empty. I don't think we're going to be there. I think as generations start to come up, younger generations through the minority are going to be more educated, and there's going to be more of those that understand how to build wealth. So then now we have a large number of a culture that understands how to build wealth. It ain't just about getting money and saving to become rich. So I think that assumption that he makes is a little bit off target, because that's just assuming that that nobody becomes smarter. We're at the same point that we are now, and I don't see that being the same 30 years down the line.
Well, I think he's accumulating. I think he's factoring that in. I think he's saying that the time is where the population is outgrowing the actual projected growth of us, our performance. You know, so based on the performance and the numbers and how we're going, the trajectory is going to be by 2053 is going to be net zero. This is based on how. So you saying that it's going to outperform what it's been doing? It's going to 2x or 3x what it's been doing. You know, just the trajectory. And I think that's all factored in. Like, hey, people get money, but I don't think the population is gonna. I don't think it's gonna flip flop. I don't think the population is gonna be in line with how many people are performing.
I think, you know what I'm saying, the way I understood it is that eventually he's saying that the minority, which is now, is going to become the majority.
Correct.
And then we're going to be in trouble because the majority doesn't understand the concept of money, right?
Correct.
So what I'm saying is that when the minority becomes the majority, a larger number is a little bit more smarter when it comes to money at that point. So to say that we're in trouble, I think is
I think it depends, though, bro. Because even now, you look at, let's say, somebody gets Big Mama house. They ain't holding on to it. That's one probably a paid off property that you could have in the family portfolio and add to your net worth, but it's getting turned around and sold.
Right.
I think right, and then just the same way, I think there's some situations where there's grandchildren that's keeping Big Mama house. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? This was handed down to me. I'm just going to stay in and fix it up as opposed to selling it up. And that's just because, you know what I'm saying, they're more educated on how to build wealth now than they were back then. 10, 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Big Mama passed away. We got a house. Everybody going to bust it down. We're going to sell it. Everybody going to bust it down and go on about their money. Everybody going to splurge for the next couple of weekends. You know what I'm saying? We're going to ball out of control. They end up back in the same position.
Right. What I think is the difference between educate, knowing, and doing is two different things. I think, like I said, a lot of us, the information is out there, but how many of us, and I talked about this earlier in the show, like it's surprisingly a lot how black business owners that I know I'm talking to don't understand tax strategies, don't understand IULs, don't understand these are the basics. So we don't, and we making money, we making hand over fist money, but we don't understand how to keep it, So there's the education out there, but are we taking heed to the education?
Yes.
That's
it was it. I just don't think, you know what I'm saying, like just because we talk to 2 or 3 people, that doesn't make it the majority of the people.
Right. No, that's anecdotal, but
Right.
you'll be surprised how many people, I would say, speaking of, beyond my anecdotal experience, but if you take 100 people, I would say the majority, 51, won't know these things. 51 out of 100. Let's do this last clip, and then we can go ahead and wrap it up.
Who hear you say, the color isn't black or white, it's green, but then they would say, but hey, there's systemic things, systemic racism that shows up in a lot of these institutions that keep us from getting to the green. Like the stat that said mortgage denial rate of borrowers is twice that of the overall population. How do people get around stuff like
credit
that?
scores? I mean, look, my mother, when she passed away last year, Juanita Smith had a credit score of 854. When she went to the computer, DJ, at midnight, credit score, the computer didn't say, "Are you black? Are you Latino? Are you Indian? Well, let me look at you." The computer said yes. I challenge anybody listening or watching this program. Get a 7 in front of your name on your credit score. Get all this drama. Go look at the computer and type your stuff in. Now, you have to have an income. Don't play games. Now, you have to have an income. You got to be paid back. But you have a decent credit score. You didn't play games with the credit bureaus. You didn't pay for it. And watch the approval come through. And by the way, if it doesn't, come see me at Operation Hope. We'll go advocate for you to the banks. I have a policy at Operation Hope. Now, I funded $4.5 billion over 30 years. I have a policy. I'll approve your loan if the bank doesn't. I'll put up my balance sheet. If you do what we say at Operation Hope, you get your credit score up, you get your debt down, you get your savings up. Just follow what we're saying. We'll walk you into the best bank with the best terms in America. They may be racist, by the way. Maybe the person, it's not the bank that's racist, it's the person you're talking to, by the way. Bank wants to make some money, right? But if the person you're talking to happens to have gone from a horrible family and is a racist, doesn't want to give you a loan, we'll make sure they do. Now, I want to, my self-esteem depends on your acceptance of me. I'm not coming to you for religious and spiritual guidance. I mean, look, I'm coming to get a mortgage loan, right? I don't need you to be my friend. It's okay if you don't like me. I like me, right? So let's keep the message straight. I'm not coming to church. I'm coming to get some capital. I will walk you in there and dare them not to approve your loan. The bank's in the business of making money. They can't make any money if they don't make a loan.
You think it's a good time right now for somebody out there buying a house?
Absolutely.
With interest rates so high?
Interest rates are not high. I mean, I know you're prodding me. Look,
because 4 years ago they were, people were buying houses at 1.9, 2.5.
It's free money, DJ. It was free money. Come on, man. That's
now
free.
It's 7.5%.
It's like capital on crack. It was free money, man. Like why was it free money? Because we had the 2008 crisis that almost cratered the entire dang on economy. The whole system went cray-cray. And again, Bill Clinton has a great quote. It's hard to get somebody to agree to the truth when the lie is paying your paycheck. So that 2008 was a lie paying the paycheck for Wall Street. The government had to okay, we got to repair this. And of course they did the thing with the deal with the banks. But then it's like, we got to get the cost of funds to a point where the economy is flowing. So they took it to almost zero like Japan did. And then when they try to get everybody off capital crack every 3 or 4 years, Wall Street, no. Things are going to get really horrible if you raise interest rates. So every Fed chairman would try to raise interest rates, and there'd be some mini crisis in Wall Street, and whoever was president is like, whoa, not on my watch. I hate to say it this way. They had to wait to a crisis that had enough credibility. That was COVID.
Wow.
When COVID hit, the policymakers were like, whew, because there's never been stimulus with a T in front of it, trillion, in the history of the world. So when people say inflation now, I'm like, no, you should be lucky the ship's not sank. Like, you should be lucky this is not the Titanic. The fact that we're arguing over 3% interest rates, the president needs to get a standing ovation. Like, we're the only growing economy in the world. We're the biggest economy in the world. And we went through the worst crisis since the Spanish flu 125 years ago. We went through it for 4 years, and the economy was shut down for 2. And here we are.
What would you say to people who hear you say,
I'll go ahead and open it up. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all.
That was kind of misleading in my opinion.
Yeah.
The issue wasn't people getting rejected for loans. They were getting higher rates and fees. They were getting approved, but they were getting mistreated on the fees and the rates.
Right.
And as comparison to somebody of another race. So it wasn't like they were just going in and getting rejected. And then he talked about it, somebody like, why would I want to get a loan from somebody that's racist? And you're gonna make them give me a loan? Why would I do that? I just go somewhere else.
Right.
I mean, and also didn't we have the thing where we showed how Wells Fargo and Bank of America was doing these practices with their black people trying to get mortgages?
Wells Fargo stays in trouble.
Yeah. So how you gonna sit there and say?
And it ain't the same bank.
They're just gonna give us a loan. I think that was a little bit disingenuous there. I'm like, they might give you a loan, and he like, I'll walk you in there.
I need a hat I can call Cap.
Like we just saw. I mean, they just got even their Navy Federal was on there about doing stuff with people trying to borrow. So
same thing.
That's a little bit
I think his blue is showing, man. I know he bleeding blue, man, but I think his donkey tail is showing on that one.
That was some soft shoe right there.
Yeah, it's like I think, like CJ said, hold on, Yeah, it's not about like not turning you down for a loan because they can't do that. But however, first of all, they don't tell you. First of all, I thought it was 850 with max. I don't know where she get an 854. Where she get the extra 4 points? You know what I'm saying? I thought 850 was the max, so she get an extra 4 points. His grandmother or whatever, his mama. And then secondly, yeah, they don't tell you that. Yeah, your prefixes, your social security number has to do with your race and where you was born and stuff like that. So they can tell by your social security number, you know, what's your nationality and stuff like that. When you came into the country, when you were born, what region you were born, and they have those groups. Duh. And then so it has nothing to do with we see Corey and I probably seen straight up firsthand. I don't know. I can't speak for Corey, but I know I for sure I've seen racism straight up firsthand that they have certain conditions that similar files that you won't have. You know, and I've seen this throughout my career, and I've only been in this 8-9 years. So I've seen them give certain people outrageous conditions, make them jump through extra hoops. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this. I've witnessed this. This ain't my imagination. You know, so I mean,
and then as a consumer, you don't know you're getting taken advantage of because you don't have nothing to compare it to.
Right. You don't know.
You just got to approve. So you got to prove.
Right.
And then you see the terms, it's like, this must be what I get approved for. You don't know they doing you dirty.
Right. And that's another thing is, like I said, we steadily choosing them. We steadily choosing their ISIS colder. So it's almost like you can't help a drowning man. You know, I've seen this firsthand. You get screwed over, you still choose them. You know, so how can you help that? So it's that's part of what he said, and then the second part is more than credit score that you need. I think we need to stop. These people can run their business however they want to. I said this early in the show. If they Dallas Cowboys fans, let them be Dallas Cowboys fans. Start your own bank. Support your own bank. Do like the Asians. We showed some Japanese culture. The reason why they switched everything, they went from being bombed and desolated less than 100 years ago. There was Pearl Harbor was how long ago?
47, 40.
48, yeah, that was
not 40, not 47. 41,
they was defeated, and they came back to be a superpower or a clean. You know, they have all the stereotypes.
And now we owe them trillions.
Right. So they fought back. How long we gonna play victim and not fight back? How long we gonna not set a standard in this coast? It's all about setting the standard, pulling your bootstraps up and competing, and giving them something alternative and giving them something to actually compete with. We're not competing. Our whole thing is ease, dysfunction. We celebrate dysfunction. And without no culture, you can't compete. Asian, they have their culture, and they stuck to it. And now they look. Now it's comparable. Shoot, we played this earlier. That clip. Shit, they got a better, economy down there. Technology's up there. Better cost of living for sure.
Better quality of living.
Huh?
Better quality of living.
Better quality of living. I mean, no crime. You know what I mean? Communal. Well, we lost the sense of community 40, 50 years ago. We think I wanted to play that Key and Peele clip with the slaves fighting. That's the Kendrick Lamar and Drake. It's the modern day. Get y'all to box in the living room. That's what they used to do for the
Mandingos.
Yeah, now they hold on a second, man. I'm gonna have to play this, man. The Key and Peele.
I saw that one. I gotta find that one.
Yeah, the Key and Peele. Hold on a second. Man, this thing.
I don't know why you pulling that up. Somebody writing hard as hell. Is that you, Barry? Goodness gracious.
Still working, man. Still working.
You writing like you mad over there. You know what I'm saying? Goodness. That's a hell of a note.
Hold on. I gotta find this. But yeah, man. I don't know. YouTube is a better search than Instagram, man.
Hey, while they doing that, y'all go to CJ Sales Texas. Sign up for this webinar tomorrow, 7 p.m. If you want to know some of the costly mistakes to avoid when buying a home, we're doing a master class, giving you some game, especially if you've never done it before or if you've done it and want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. Check out the master class tomorrow.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Shameless plug. You know what I'm saying? Look, get that commercial in between.
Hey, let's go.
That's what a podcast is. The whole podcast is a plug.
We're gonna fill in the dead space.
They ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Look, make the
The
better
whole
use of time.
podcast.
Make your next move your best move.
Girl. Yeah.
Right. Damn. I think they took that one down. That one was funny, man. I think they took that one down, man. You know, but that one was funny, man. But that reminds me of the you know, it's the same entertainment, man. Same entertainment. Us fighting amongst each other. You know, yeah, it's this same thing rehashed, man. When we learn, man. Just to sum it up.
We like drama.
Yeah, I mean, it's made in America, like Charleston White said, man. We made in America. You know what I mean? This is what it is. So, I think it is home ownership. I think learning how to play the game, IULs, life insurance. I think tax strategies, supporting your own, establishing a culture. Establishing some type of decorum and rules and stuff like that. All that needs to be done, but I don't think we have the heart to do it. I think it's going to be more resistance, and to do it, you know, that's time to set like a culture down. Culture, you know, you have to have rules and boundaries and stuff like that. Stuff that you will and won't do, and we can't agree on that. So, you know, look at last week. We can't. You guys, you know, we trying to have a show. We trying to beat me up on what I believe in and stuff like that. We fight them. We big amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Your boy even commented, boom.
So what happened?
So even got the goddamn and even got the audience. I don't know, viewer. You know, so it is what it is, man.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, just like I was saying earlier, if you want to find out how to do it, that book Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson broke it down.
Right.
Got to establish a economic base. Like we worrying too much about everything else, from voting to everything else. We need to do like everybody else, stacking that bread, supporting, building businesses. Then we can start lobbying like everybody else to get legislation put in place that's going to support our interests.
I don't know. You think it's 13 for us, bro?
Say what?
Do you think it's like, because I think every time you try to do something, any point, there's going to be somebody kind of counter with amongst us. And you don't really see that nowhere else.
I think that's across the board, though.
Huh?
That's across the board. I don't think that's necessarily just us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think it's across the board. The whole reason we got Democrats and Republicans. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Somebody always going to counter. Somebody always going to feel a little bit different.
Right. But do you think, like, I don't know, you got, you know, certain Asian culture, Jewish culture. When they stand for something, they ain't got too many detractors.
I think they do, but I'm not necessarily in that culture, you know what I'm saying, to be able to know firsthand.
Right. I mean, I don't see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they stand for something, they stand for something.
Yeah, I think that's what B is saying. Like, you don't see it, but from with our culture, it's loud.
It's loud. You know,
it's loud.
And I think that's the thing is you can disagree, but don't go out in public with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, was that at one point we had 2 MLK parades and stuff? It's like, come on, man.
Right.
Come on, man. Come
I
on,
don't know.
man.
Y'all,
Think about it from a religious standpoint. Now, you got churches like a block from each other,
right.
in the same neighborhoods.
Man,
Because
but
somebody
that's deep.
disagreed with somebody.
Yeah, I don't like how you doing this. So yeah,
Right.
it's you're always gonna have somebody that's not gonna agree with you, but you have to look at the overall picture.
Yep.
The overall aim. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to be better as a group?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't think so. I think I don't know. I think it might be overly optimistic. I think it might be chapter 13. I mean,
damn, not chapter 13.
I think that's what they say back in Louisiana, man. It's chapter 13, man. Bankrupt. I don't see it. Yeah, I think
that's why I say we gotta go after the kids, the youth, because
I don't see it, bro.
Yeah, the
I
old
don't.
people.
I don't see us. We got too much. So many people got so much to say. Everybody want to be chief. Not enough Indians. Nobody want to fall in line. Think about the Asians. The Asians, boom. All right, we're gonna be smart. We're gonna be clean. We're gonna be humble. I'm not in their culture, but I know that's the attributes. And I don't need. They probably got Buddhists. They got all kind of different religions. We don't know because there ain't nobody. Hey, I'm this. I'm that.
and then you think about like from that standpoint too.
I know they got more than one type of Jew, but we don't hear about it.
And even look at it from a standpoint with the politics. You don't see a lot of complaining of folks on the front line and everything in these other communities. They already established. They already got what they need.
Right.
They got their own banks. They got their own everything. Their own infrastructure.
So my question is, y'all think we done for? You honestly think this thing can turn around?
Man.
Which thing? Well, hold on. Which thing are you specifically talking about?
I'm saying the whole thing of the show. The whole thing with the show is like we're gonna be the majority of the minority or whatever. We're gonna be the majority here soon. It's just inevitable. Okay. I think we're not ready. I think we good at being consumers, but we're not good at building wealth. We're good at dysfunction, but we're not good at building culture. I think we're good at entertaining, but we're not good at economics.
I beg to disagree.
Right. So
I beg to disagree. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a stereotype that's put on the actual culture. You know what I'm saying? When we have many leaders in the culture, you know what I'm saying, that are actually running businesses, politicians, so on and so forth, that have proven that we can be leaders. But you know what I'm saying? I think we just kind of negate that. We just kind of, disregard those people just to focus on the lower.
What are receipts?
We just had a black president. What you mean? What's the receipt?
He was half white.
Oh, you one of those? Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, you one of those? Okay.
Yeah. Right, and you know who he was adopted by?
So first off, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't half white. Let's just put that out there. And then second off, you know what I'm saying,
when does Obama ever say that he was black? He said he Kenyan.
He was the first black. Who was the first black president? Did they not name him the first black president?
That's what they call him, but he said he Kenyan.
So then you have said, so Kenyan American.
Yeah, he said
Kenyan not black?
No, black. Where's Blackistan?
Blackistan? What?
Yeah, where is Blackistan?
Where you get that from?
Yeah, where's Blackistan? Or is that a social label that they put on us?
I don't even know where that came from. That's the first time I ever heard it. Blackistan?
No, if you ever hear Obama, he always said he's Kenyan American. You don't say he's black.
I've heard him say several times. You know what I'm saying, he's black. And then as many times, you know what I'm saying, he's actually been in the black culture, has kind of done stuff for the black culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think you've been listening to fake news too much.
Nah, I mean, I'm just listening.
But even as a quote unquote black president, what did he do to change the condition of his people? Right. What changed in our communities because he was, besides the imagery of having a black president?
Right.
What changed besides that?
I get that. You know what I'm saying? But as the president, you know what I'm saying, you still have to have things voted on, right? If you don't have majority, if you don't have majority of the House, how do you get anything passed?
I mean,
when you talk when you
that wasn't
talk
the
about
question.
You don't have to vote. You don't have to. You don't have to vote for executive orders.
The thing is, what you mean executive orders? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And then the question what has changed in our
He can't. Okay. So you're saying in order for him to support the black community, he has to get in there and say, okay, well, look, every black person gets reparations.
No. What could have happened?
So then what are you asking? What are you asking that he should have did?
What could have happened is
that he didn't have to get passed by the House.
Well,
that was majority Republican.
As a core, our community.
Well, this was your question. I'm just trying to get clarity.
Yeah, I'm trying to clarify, but
go ahead.
You keep stepping on me.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying you're talking about we're talking off topic. We're staying on topic, but I'm just clarifying your question. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I'm trying to clarify the question so you can answer it properly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So what that means is what CJ was probably trying to get you to understand is that what has changed, meaning that did we see a systematic change in our community where, all right, now since we have a black president, now we're no longer dysfunctional. Now we have a programs as far as people to get into politics, and we start voting on one accord, and we stop acting a fool. Did we see that? Did we see a mass exodus in foolishness?
Oh, that was it? That was your point?
That was the question. Did that clarify it a little bit better?
That clarified. What did that clarify, B?
Did that clarify his
question? What did that clarify? Again, what could he pass without the House approval?
I'm talking about culture.
So what you're talking about with your question, you can answer it yourself. What could he have passed that the House wouldn't have to approve?
You're talking about legislation. We're talking about cultural.
What I'm talking about is the fact that a president can't do anything specifically towards just a culture. He's the president of the United States. He's not the president of the United of Black States.
What do you call Biden doing the executive order for anti-Asian hate?
Right.
Or they
anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Speech.
That didn't have to be voted on.
Right.
Specifically for one culture. Or
specifically
for one group of people. Executive order.
Gotcha. Executive order. Don't know anything about it.
That's just an example.
Right.
No, it's an example, but I'm saying I'm pretty sure there's a
the same dude.
So
the same dude that just said
what did he give executive order on?
The same dude that said if you ain't black if you don't vote for me. As soon as they get in there, he does the executive order protecting the Asian community from I guess they thought black folks was harassing or hurting Asian folks or something. I don't know.
Well, it was due to COVID.
So it was to make it a protective class? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Well, they get extra time for crimes against Asian Americans.
So they just made them a protected class like every other race?
No, they did extra, almost like
that was in addition to.
In addition to. Okay. No, he's just using that as an example that you don't have to actually get the Congress to buy in on everything. There is executive orders that you could put into place as a president. But my question more overly was the culture. Did we change? Did our core change besides repping the fact that our president is black, our rims are blue, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, besides songs and chants. What did we change core-wise? I gave an example earlier in the program that Asians, I caught the tail end of it, me being a 80s baby, I caught the tail end of it in the early 80s that Asians had the stereotypes of being Fu Manchu in the late 70s. And they changed that stereotype to being smart. It used to be the dumb Asian, the Fu Manchu. That was the stereotype in the United States. They changed that. And now it's everybody, you got to be smart.
Right. You good at math.
You good at math. They changed that stereotype in one generation. Yeah. So all these movies, Hollywood Shuffle, I'm gonna get you sucker, the stuff, the black exploitation stuff. We actually we go into the stereotypes for a little bit of change.
Yeah, we are perpetuating it.
We perpetuate the stereotypes. So you can't get mad when people, if that's how we put now, and that's how people portray us. What has changed since we got a black president? Has the roles changed? In fact, it's gotten worse. In fact, you know, with social media, our image has gotten worse with the talk shows and the females running stuff, the gender war. You know, it's gotten worse. So culturally, we gotten worse since we had a black president.
I beg to disagree, but okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying, when you talk about these social media disparities, you know what I'm saying, these disparities, it's the same thing you're talking about that we've had for 20 years before we even had a black president. So how did it now just become so bad that the black president, you know what I'm saying, created all this? That's crazy.
I didn't say he created it. I said it's gotten worse since he's been. So you proved my point.
But you haven't said how it's gotten worse. You know what I'm saying? All you said is the same thing that it's always been.
Now let's tell you how it's gotten worse.
Well, let's hear it.
All right. Let's go take on over Kevin Samuels. Like we were married at a rate of 80 some odd percent. Now it's down to 24%. So the marriage rate has dropped off. Now the divorce rate in the black community is over 76%. 80 of it.
That's across the board on all.
No,
races.
no, sir. No, sir.
Yes, it is.
No, sir.
That's on all races.
We're above everybody else.
The marriage is not a sacred and not a commitment the same way it was 30 years ago as it is now. Your grandpa stayed in an actual marriage because they didn't want to get divorced. They was in it for the long haul.
I agree.
But now things have changed.
However,
how do you narrow that down to one way?
How are we leading the pack? If we're majority, we a minority right now, but we leading the pack. How are we only 13 to 14% of the population, but we committing 55% of the crimes? And what is it now? Half of the boys in high school can't read on the sixth grade level.
So now we're going from marriage to talking about other statistics. I was just on marriage.
I'm talking receipts across the board.
Goalposts moving, right?
No, that ain't good. You said what? You said
we're talking about marriage, B. You talking about
marriage,
all that other stuff.
I'm talking about image.
Stay on marriage, B. Everything from here on out, we're talking about marriage. Stay on marriage.
No, I don't.
This our culture.
I'm talking about the whole culture. All of it's degraded. All of it is the degradation of the society, and we leading the pack. We the forerunner.
Okay.
A blind man, Ray Charles can see that. You know, Ray Charles is blind, right?
No, I didn't know that. I thought he could see good as motherfucker.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder can see this.
I thought he could see.
We the laughing stock.
You too.
You know, yeah, Eddie did. You know what I'm saying? So you can't deny this type of stuff. This is nothing that's changed. Obama actually probably made it worse.
Hey, can y'all see that?
Right. I can't.
Blackdemographics.com. 30% married. Everybody else killing us.
Yep. So yeah, the trend has. I agree with this. The trend has gone in the last 30 years. But however, why are we leading the pack?
And that's all due to a black president.
Nah, man. You see,
we saying it didn't help. We saying the culture has not gotten any better. Regardless.
Because of the black president. What has changed culturally because we got a black president? Nothing has changed. I showed you the Asians within one generation have changed without an Asian president. They changed their image. And they went back home. They got these businesses out here. Went back home. We just played earlier a clip, man. Japan's so clean, they got a posted seats on their subway.
Oh, that was blackdemographics.com, by the way.
Yeah. So they so clean and cheap. You can get 100. They showed a luxury house for 129. The dudes offered them 100,000. They took it. And did I not play the clip earlier?
Yep.
Japan's so clean, and they was decimated less than 100 years ago. So what's our excuse? We got 54.
And the lady was looking at. She's like, "Don't go over there. They're gonna overcharge you."
Yeah. So
she didn't even know, dude.
This is 80 years ago, 75 years ago. The economy was destroyed. They got atom bomb. We never got a nuclear bomb dropped on us.
Yeah, we did crack.
Well, but however, everybody else bounced back. Yep. Why we can't bounce back?
Yep.
Because we the whole thing is you keep sticking your head and saying there's nothing that's wrong. We got to admit we got a problem.
Yep.
We got to admit we got a problem, bro. And then that's the only way we're going to start changing it. We got issues, bro.
I don't think anybody ever thought we didn't have issues.
He just said, I beg to disagree. We doing
Hey,
just fine. Okay,
we need that men in black little flashy thing to hit everybody with.
That ain't what I said, B. But that's okay. I let
But
you. Have that.
You say you beg to disagree. I think we got issues. We have systematic issues.
No. What I'm saying is that you're saying the black culture is the only culture that has these issues, and you just saw Hispanics is at 43%, but you didn't say nothing about that.
CJ, did you hear me say the only?
No.
That's exactly what you said. You said it's gotten worse.
Larry, did you hear me say the only?
I don't remember if you said only. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't.
Hey, Barry over there, like, hey, we all did get along.
You done moved the goalpost so much.
I never once said the only.
He just stopped playing. He just stopped catching up. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
hey, look, whatever you say, B.
Nah, I never once said the only. We have issues. I mean, and I said we're leading. I said we're leading. We're the forerunner. I said we leading the pack. So by default, by leading the pack means there's others. Did I not say that we the forerunners, meaning that other people running with us, but we ahead of everybody else though? And how do we only 13%? We, so we're not the only ones, but we the canary in the coal mine. You see what I'm saying? And ain't nothing changing. That's my point. Ain't nothing changing. So how can we compete on a global level? We ain't got it together.
I beg to disagree, but you know what I'm saying, you can have your point. That's fine.
See, I think men agree.
Hey, look, every black person is in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? According to you, you know what I'm saying? Every black person is in the same boat. That's fine, man. You can run with that.
And may I ask you this? Let's talk about sports. If on the team is everybody on the team has the same skill set, or there's some great players, there's okay players, and there's some trash players.
That's it. Right. Everybody has a different skill set.
All right, so same thing with as a team. If we 0-15, no matter if we got a great player or two, we still looking garbage. We might have a Pro Bowl player on that, but it don't matter because our record trash.
Hey, look at Barry Sanders.
You feel what I'm saying?
Barry Sanders should have had some rings, but they ain't put nobody around him.
They so it don't matter if you got a good player or two. We looking shabby. We looking old. We looking like Larry Holmes.
Right. But what
so
what I'm getting,
let me ask you this thing.
Coach fault. Is it the coach
let me ask you this thing.
If the players don't
what do we
perform,
need to do?
Is it the coach fault?
Well, y'all both talking at the same time.
Oh, okay, my fault.
What I couldn't hear y'all.
My question is, you know what I'm saying, if the players don't play, you know what I'm saying, is it the coach's fault?
Who's the coach?
It don't matter who the coach is. It's the coach's fault. We just brought up Barry Sanders, whoever the coach is, you know what I'm saying? If they don't win, is it the coach's fault?
What's the analogy? How
you have a superstar Barry Sanders, you don't have any players around him. Is it the coach's fault? That's all I'm asking.
Who's the coach?
Is it the coach's fault if they losing?
But that's I get it on the sports side.
But it don't matter. You trying to give yourself time to think right now. It's a yes or no.
No. I get it on the sports
side. It's a yes or no. Is it the coach's fault? I don't give a damn if you put Lou
because he's part of the team.
As a coach. You know what I'm saying? Is it the coach's fault?
Yes, it is the coach's fault because he's part of the team.
Okay.
And in management, everything is your fault. If you're in the management, if you manage
front office,
it's everybody's fault. So you can't blame everybody else. It's all us. We got to take accountability. We all trash.
We all got to take accountability, but it's the coach's fault. All right, B. I mean, all right, Barry.
It's everybody's fault.
Your question.
And management is not. All right, so in your household, if y'all go broke, whose fault is it? It's the head of the household. It's everybody's fault. Huh?
Me and the wife fault.
All right. So, you know what I'm saying? Even though the kids might have spent everything, it's still your fault, though, right?
That's correct.
All right. You know what I'm saying? And who's ever the head is their fault.
Because we are the adults. They're kids, B. You can't compare that to an actual professional team.
The coaches in the
it's apples and oranges. You're moving goalposts again, baby.
Nah, the coach,
I need you to stick to one point.
The coaches in the front office is the management of the team. The players play, yes, they perform on the field, but all that relates. If they're not calling the right plays, if they're not having the people in the right hotels and right comfort and having the schedule right, all that counts. The result is we suck.
Okay.
Barry, what was your question?
My question is, okay, with all of that, what do you think we need to do?
I think it totally needs to be rebuilt, just like a sports team. Go ahead, run the thing into the ground and rebuild.
How you gonna rebuild? How you gonna rebuild people?
Like CJ said, start with the kids. I think a lot of the adults. I think a lot of adults of Chapter 13 they done with. They stuck in their ways, so they need to die off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
you can't just rebuild the kids. You know what I'm saying? When the parents is the one that's instilling.
Well, that's the conundrum. That's the conundrum. That's what we're trying to figure out. Like, how can we get the kids? We said this earlier in the show that when the parents still pumping the BS, so we can pump all we want, but how can it counter the BS? So it's tough. It's tough. So it's almost that's the question is: do we think it's over with for us? Are we gonna be perpetually clowns? You know what I'm saying? Or is that because think about it? All these great men have came and have gotten killed in this thing, and nothing ain't changed. And in fact, we're getting worse. So what's gonna change? What's gonna change? Who's gonna come along? Because as soon as somebody come along, put their foot down, and try to lead it, your own people gonna throw the arrows at you.
Oh yeah, you're getting canceled.
You're getting canceled. You know what I'm saying? So who gonna step up and not? All right, why would I want to pull up with this foolishness? There ain't no bread in it. And then your own people will come at you. So who's gonna want to lead these people? That's why there ain't been no leaders.
There's plenty of black leaders, bro.
Come on, where they?
I'm just saying, plenty of black leaders.
Who leading?
You got Tyler Perry. You got.
Oh my God!
You got
a cross-dresser.
You got
cross-dresser is our leader, entertainer.
Tyler Perry. You got Jay-Z. You got Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like you got 50 Cent. All these cats are building businesses and building infrastructures.
Wow.
What you mean?
They didn't name nothing but entertainers.
They're all entertainers, bro. What you talking about? They play flutes and shit. That's what your boy was
play flutes. Hey, look, even Barry B had to look up cross-eyed on that. You know what I'm saying?
That was a reference to Malcolm X.
When you talk about leader, what's the definition of a leader?
Leader is somebody that could galvanize the people for cultural change.
Okay, so then you're saying Jay-Z can't make cultural change.
He has, but he has for the worse.
So he has, but yet you laugh that he's one of the.
He don't want that job. He don't want that job. He never said he's a black leader. He's
all the stuff that he's done for the culture to lead the culture. When something happens, I'm saying they go to Jay-Z. What are you talking about?
So you saying Jay-Z, a rapper, wants to be our leader for the black folks?
What I'm saying is that there cannot be one leader, but there's a plethora of people that are leading people, you know what I'm saying, to do better for the culture, to do things for the culture, you know what I'm saying, that benefits the culture. So right now, what you're saying there's nobody black that's actually doing anything for the culture.
What has Jay-Z done to benefit the culture?
That's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy.
I'll give Umar a shout out. He trying.
Well, you ain't see how that little Spanish chick the other day.
Man,
right?
you got. But
yeah,
he
last record. He got caught again. How that little Spanish chick.
But what does that have to do with what he does for the culture? All right, what about Killer Mike? What he does for the culture? You know what I'm saying? What you got to say about him?
Bro, these entertainers are not leaders, bro.
He was caught with a white girl the other day. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gonna come up with? You coming up with all this Wendy Williams stuff about people that's actually making a difference. Come on, B.
Where
you better than that, dog. You better than that.
Umar at with the school at, man. I don't want to hear nothing from Umar until he come up with the school.
I hear you.
Yeah, and then as far as Killer Mike cool as far as an entertainer, but he's not a leader. I'm more of a leader than Killer Mike. Y'all follow me.
Stop it.
Sure, I'll give a shout out to King Randall. He ain't big time, but he making a big difference with kids in Georgia.
I think
it's gonna take a collaboration of a lot of people doing a little.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. There's not gonna be this MLK and Malcolm X anymore. It's not gonna be one person. It's got to be
people making a group.
It's got to be a bunch.
But at the same time, I think it's going to be a collective effort with kids because I don't think no grown person is going to follow no other person now at this point.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, these I don't think I don't know. I think it again. I'm back to it needs a total overhaul. I think we need to, have some more funerals, and I really think we need to marry out. I really think we need to revamp this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And merge with somebody else that has culture and adapt their culture and to make it part of our culture.
I'll go back.
Because right now our culture is what? Sneakers and dysfunction.
I'll go back to the culture we had.
Well, even then, all right, you talking about Jim Crow era culture?
Yeah.
I mean, but even then was subservience.
I mean, but at the point where we had our own communities established, run by ourselves and everything, we were totally independent.
But that's the reason why that can't happen is because that was birthed out of necessity. So if
Right.
you give the person an option, is they gonna really choose that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a mindset thing too.
Right, but even with that being said,
like that. So look at. Well, I see what you're saying. Adopting somebody else's culture because other cultures are doing it.
Right. I think we need to, go over to the Asian, get some of that Asian culture and incorporate it. I think
just because you like their women don't mean we need to go over there and adopt their culture. Look, that has nothing to do with it. This culture is apples and oranges. So
what is our culture? What is?
You cannot say that. Come on, B.
What is our culture? What is our culture? What is our culture?
You're going far left with this thing.
Do we have a culture right now?
Yes, we got a culture. What you mean that we have a culture?
What's the culture?
The black culture.
What is it? What is it? Describe something.
What am I describing, B? It's a culture. What are you talking about?
What's part of the? All right, I could name, even though I ain't in the Asian culture, I could name about 4 or 5 things in the Asian culture right off the top of my head: cleanliness, humbleness, quietness, submissiveness, and duty.
That's a perception. That's a perception from you on the outside looking in. I can tell you right now, I got some Asians that stay across the street from me, and she is running the hell out that cat. I'm telling you, that ain't got nothing to do with what you talking about, B. You're talking about some stuff that you don't know. You're making an assumption, and that's the problem.
You've
never been in an Asian culture.
You're taking your anecdotal experience and making it the majority. We're talking
Is that not what you're doing? Is that not what you're doing, B?
No.
You just prefaced it by saying I've never been in the Asian culture. That right there by itself discredits you.
No, that discredits anecdotal.
You don't know what they do.
I'm on the outside. I'm talking in general.
I've never been to the restaurant, but I know it's trash. Who says that?
No, a more appropriate analogy would have been I never went to the restaurant. However, I know it has good reviews because I can see the reviews.
Okay, so the reviews is the 1 or 2 people that you talk to?
No, the reviews is what I see
out of the millions of people that's in the culture.
No, the reviews is what I see on social media, what I've experienced in real life.
Social media, oh my god!
Right.
Oh, so people don't lie on social media. That's what you're saying, B?
I'm looking at I'm looking at documentaries of their culture. Plus, I have friends and stuff like that that's traveled there and they shared their experience. That's anecdotal, however, but I'm talking about as a whole. I could see their culture. We're talking high IQ stuff. High IQ stuff. We talk in general. We don't talk. This is my 1 or 2. There's exceptions.
It sounds really low IQ. I'm not going to have a conversation about something I'm not educated about. And but that's the conversation that you're trying to have and call it high IQ. I beg to differ. But if you want to dig your whole
high IQ means I can make it up. So you can't make an observance of something and come to an actual conclusion about it.
Not if you don't understand it. No, you cannot.
What is there to understand? You can see. You got eyes. You can see, right?
You can see, but you have to be in it, B. You have to be in it. You have to live it. You have to understand it.
No, so you got to be. I got to be in a toxic household to understand.
Again, you take one experience and you make that your complete antidote, right? That's what you just said, right? That's what you're doing.
If you could make an observation from several angles, you could come to a conclusion, educated conclusion, that this is what this is. Several
angles from 2 different people.
Nah, I'm talking about from numerous documentaries, numerous results. Don't forget, you can judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. So I'm looking at the product.
So you've watched documentaries about the Asian culture?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I've watched several.
Okay.
I just watched one the other day.
What was it called?
It was about this black dude.
What was it called, B? What was it called?
I don't know the name.
Okay, of course not. All right, I got to be.
Yeah, it's about
I
this
got to
black dude.
be. I
Can
got to be.
can I
You
describe
stumbling
what
over
it was?
yourself right now. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was about this black dude from Uganda that moved to Japan, and he was making that there are dark skinned Japanese, and then they were talking about how our culture in America and the black culture has influenced Japan a lot. So that's what it was on just the culture of Japan and stuff like that. What's the culture? What's the difference in hip hop? How hip hop influenced it. So I watched that. I watched the whole documentary. So I watched several. I watched several on Thailand. I watched on Japan. I watched on Singapore and all that other stuff. I watched a whole bunch of stuff on the culture. I watched culture stuff. Period. African culture, European culture. So yeah, I do this type of stuff.
You watch a whole bunch of documentaries. Be name one.
I don't know the names of them, bro.
Okay.
It's YouTube.
Case Red. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, like,
don't even worry about it.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. I know titles of books.
It don't make sense that you watch all these documentaries and you can't name one. Okay, yeah, you're right.
So
that's high IQ shit, B. That's high IQ shit. I got
so would you know like every YouTube video you watch, you know the name of it?
I can name one of them for sure.
All right. So if that discredit, that's who it is. I don't remember the names. I just watch.
I hear you.
It's not important. The content is important to me, not the name.
I hear you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't care
you.
about the name. It could be Hu Meng Chu. I don't give a damn. What's in it?
I got you.
Yeah, so that don't make a difference to me. Yeah, because have you seen such and such? Oh, yeah, I've seen. Come on, man, knock it up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Like I said, I don't think it's nothing changed, man. And I think it's for this reason though too. That nothing ain't gonna change. We can't agree on nothing. I think it's been like that since the beginning of the time. I think we haven't been on. I think the whole thing is a fantasy for us to be on one accord. I think they're gonna have subgroups. I agree on that. They're probably gonna have splinter leaders. They probably have a group of people here, a group of people there that just so happen to be dark skinned. I don't think we're gonna do like Asians done or Latinos are trying to do. I don't think it's fun. I just don't see it. You see what I'm saying? So I'll give y'all the final word, man, before we get up out of here.
I was just gonna go back to the original video. We're talking about DEI and home ownership. Like, if you are interested in start to generate wealth and you haven't bought a home yet, or you don't have real estate in your portfolio and your family's portfolio, get started ASAP. Because no matter how bad they're talking about the economy might be, we don't foresee prices going down. We may see some fluctuation on interest rates, but affordability itself, I don't think prices are going to go down. So take advantage of opportunities, get in where you can. Don't be afraid to get in with somebody else. You make a move, like make something happen now, because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. And piggybacking on that, yeah, do something. Don't just sit there, because you're going to look up and time is going to pass you by. Right. And like you said, we already know that the companies are buying up homes to turn us into renters. Do something.
Right.
For most people, you know what I'm saying, the number one wealth builder is going to be owning a home. Don't let interest rates stand in your way. Get into a home now, and instead of throwing money away on rent, and you'll find yourself in a much better financial position 2 or 3 years down the road.
Right.
Period.
All right. With that being said, man, we're gonna see y'all next week, man. You know?
Yeah.
Peace.
All right.